Hey everyone, so let's talk about a word that gets thrown around a lot, legacy. What's the first thing that pops into your head when you hear it? Come on, be honest. For a lot of us, it sounds big, kind of heavy, right? Maybe even a little intimidating. We start picturing these giant monuments or our names in history books, something that gets decided like at the very end of the road. But what if I told you that's not really the whole picture? Not even close. Let's dig into what it actually means to build a legacy and how it starts, well, right now.
So on one hand, you've got this myth. You know the one I'm talking about. It's all about the grand achievements, the massive wealth, the statues in the park, things that, let's face it, feel like they're only for a tiny handful of people on the planet. And that version of legacy, it can feel completely out of reach. But then, there's the other side of the coin, the truth. And let me tell you, the real truth about legacy is something totally different. And the best part, it's something all of us can tap into. All right, this is the big one. This is the fundamental shift in thinking that changes everything. The truth is, your legacy isn't some far-off event you need to start planning for in your retirement. Nope. It is happening right now, in this very moment. It's an active, living, breathing thing, and you are creating it as we speak.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? What you leave behind starts with how you live today. I mean, wow, that just completely flips the whole idea on its head. Legacy isn't a destination you arrive at. It's the byproduct, the direct result of how you show up every single day. We're all laying the groundwork, brick by brick, building this sort of invisible architecture of who we are and what we'll be remembered for.
Okay, so if you take away one thing, let it be this. Legacy isn't something you leave behind, it's something you live, right now. It's unfolding in the small moments, the way you talk to the cashier, the patience you have with your kids, the values you stick to even when no one's looking over your shoulder. It's being built in every single, ordinary, everyday decision you make.
All right, so if we're all busy building our legacy day by day, what are we actually building it with? What are the tools in our toolbox, the actual bricks and mortar we're using to construct a meaningful life? Well, let's dive in and take a look at the real building blocks.
I really love this definition because it's so clear. Just look at the words it highlights: influence, actions, values, contributions. Notice what's not on that list? Money, status. It's not about what you have in the bank, it's about what you give to the world. It completely shifts how we measure a life, moving away from dollars and cents and towards, the number of lives you've made a little bit better. So how do we actually do it? You might be thinking it has to be these huge, heroic acts, but it's not. It's about the small, consistent things we do every day. The source material calls them rituals of meaning, which is a great way to put it. We're talking about things like choosing to read a few pages instead of mindlessly scrolling, or offering a listening ear instead of jumping in with advice. It's about simply showing up, consistently, for your family, for your work, for your community, day in and day out. These are the real building blocks.
And check out this idea. It's so powerful. Every single action is like a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. Think about that. Every time you choose patience over frustration, or practice a skill, or just show a little kindness, you're casting a vote. It's that consistency that really matters in the end. These little choices, repeated over and over, are what build your character, what write your story, and what create your legacy.
Okay, but here's where it gets even cooler. These small daily actions, they don't just stop with you. Oh no. They create these waves, these ripples that spread out way farther than you could ever see. And that's what we call the ripple effect.
Just picture it, right? You toss a small pebble into a perfectly still pond. Your actions, even the tiny ones, are that pebble. A single, seemingly insignificant choice can create ripples that travel outwards, touching people and situations in ways you might never, ever know about. This is really the bridge that connects your private actions to your public impact.
Let's make this super concrete. Here's a real-world example. Say you offer a simple, kind word to a colleague who's clearly having a rough day. That's the pebble. So, what happens next? Well, that small gesture makes them feel seen, feel valued. It inspires a little bit of gratitude. Later on, feeling a bit more positive, they take the time to help out another person on their team. And just like that, poof, your one small action has multiplied. It's now contributing to a more supportive, more positive culture for the whole team. That is the ripple effect. Right there, in action. So, let's pull all these threads together. We've kind of taken apart this big, scary myth of legacy, and we've rebuilt it on a much more solid foundation. Just simple, daily, intentional actions.
And that means the focus now shifts right back to where it belongs. On you. Right here and right now.
When it all comes down to it, this is really the main takeaway. You are the author of your own story. Your legacy isn't some final chapter that gets written by somebody else after you're gone. No way. It's the narrative that you are actively writing with your choices, your words, and your actions every single day.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question. Let's just forget for a second about what you'll be remembered for in 50 years. Let's bring it right back to the here and now. With every single choice you make, what story are you writing today?